Pet food is big business, and a lot of manufacturers do not actually care about what's best for your dog. And so in this video, I am going to talk about the manipulation that a lot of these companies do in order to entice you to buy their product. And guess what? It's not what's best for your dog, it's what's best for them. Pet food companies never cease to amaze me. And so there is an actual company now that will serve lasagna for dogs. Wagu steak lasagna for dogs. And let me tell you something, even though the ingredients aren't too bad, from a nutritional standpoint, they are a little on the fence, shall I say. The Wagu here is a bit dubious for me because dogs secrete amylase, protease, and lipase to break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in the pancreas. And dogs are optimized to breaking down lean cuts of meat. And high amounts of fat coming from Wagu might have bad effects on their cholesterol, etc., etc. And they also add 10% coconut and coconut milk, which is a bit high in fat, albeit good fats. So what you see here from this lasagna is that this is not for the dog. This is for you. So you can tell people that your dog is now eating Wagu lasagna. Well, this is, my friend, is a marketing gimmick. This is designed to make you buy, not because of the quality of the food, but how it looks. And the same can be said for these king prawn and giant squid paella for dogs, which again has a couple things that wouldn't be biologically appropriate for your dog. For example, I would never give my dog cauliflower rice, and I would never give my dog 10% desiccated coconut. That would be a bit too high in fat, although it's good fat. But once again, this is not designed with your dog's biological needs at heart and in mind. This is for you to be enticed to buying paella for your dog so you can tell your mates so they can sell more dog food. They don't really want to optimize what's best for your dog. And by the way, if you want to know what the best dog food is, I highly encourage you to download a free guide how to feed your dog better. The link will be down below. And this is, by the way, not exclusive to this company. A lot of veterinary prescription diets, for example, they will label them hypoallergenic when in reality the list in hypoallergenic ingredients has never been defined because allergies in dogs are very, very vague. And so your dog could be allergic to grass or pollen or mites or a specific food or a random food. And there isn't something standard about something being hypoallergenic. That's just a marketing buzzword. And the same could be said for things like analergenic or whatever the case might be. You only have to look at how vague the ingredients are there. And so you will see that animal proteins, for example, in a hypoallergenic or an analergenic dog food are pretty rubbish. Because if you have a dog with an allergy, what you want to do is traceability. Just as you would if you were lactose intolerant, you would read the ingredients, and if you would see anything coming from lactose, any milk derivative, you would probably avoid it. You wouldn't just trust blindly anything anyone tells you. You would read the ingredients. So why aren't people reading ingredients in pet food either? In all reality, what all these companies want to do is to sell more product, is to shift product, is to appear that they care about your dog and for them to get richer, which is actually legitimate. Do not get me wrong. Pet food companies making money, that's not a problem. However, you must identify which labels, which things you can trust and which ones you cannot trust. What goes into the blender and how it's processed is far more important than anything anyone tells you. Whether I tell you something or whether someone else tells you something, whether that's your vet, whom you trust, or whatever. Do not trust people blindly. Always read ingredients. If you see something like fresh chicken on the back of a pack, at least you will know that fresh chicken has gone into the blender. If you see dehydrated chicken, you will at least know that that chicken has been dehydrated before going into food processing. But if I see meat meal, for example, I will know that that is a rendered powder to which I then have to add a refined carbohydrate for it to bind together, such as corn or wheat. And do I want to feed my dog corn or wheat and rendered powder? I don't. Do I want to feed my dog added vitamins and nutrients. No, I don't want to feed my dog like I would a baby. I wouldn't want to feed anything like this with vitamins and minerals and iron and calcium. At the end of the day, these contain sugar. That's why I love to read ingredients, because manufacturers cannot lie on the back of dog food. They cannot lie. They have to tell you if they put caramel, if they put sugar, if they put whatever they put, they have to tell you on the back. Now, they can leave the door open and say poultry instead of tying themselves to chicken, for example, or animal fat, and just be very, very unspecific. You must read ingredients and you must understand how these pet food companies want to make money, which is absolutely fine. But you need to understand how pet food is made. No one is checking these companies. They come out with more and more pet foods and we don't really know what's going on. And that's why it's incumbent upon you to pick up the phone or ask questions. How is this food made? Where do you source your meals from? Is the meat you use sourced local, or does it come from China, for example? I don't know. Whatever the case might be, even if you are a raw feeder, you must always check where the food comes from. What we see is a growing trend of pet parents who have been growing skeptical about kibble for quite some time, and they have become disillusioned with the system, and they are opting for making their own dog food. And so if you want to learn how to make your own dog food, sign up below and I'll teach you everything you need to know for free in the next 30 days. I will send you an email every single day for the next 30 days teaching you how to make dog food properly so you don't create imbalances, how to feed liver, how to feed bone to your dog, how to feed the right amount of lean meats, how about fruits, how about vegetables, are these necessary, are these not, how to process these things. You can sign up below.